logistics purposes, you may want to allow user profiles within a server domain to be able to access other computers using something like a remote desktop feature. I'm going to show you how to set that up within this server virtual machine. The first thing you're going to do is click on Add Roles and Features from your Server Manager dashboard. You're going to click on Next, and now you're going to go on Remote Desktop Services Installation, because this is what we actually want to install. There are multiple ways that you can set this up, but the way we're going to do is a quick start. This essentially sets up all the features within just your server and your domain, or as a standard deployment will allow you to use it on multiple servers, multiple domains. We're only interested in setting it up on one. This is why a quick start is also called an all-in-one deployment. Now you may think because I'm setting this up on a virtual machine that I would use a virtual machine based desktop deployment, but I actually don't. I want to use a session based desktop deployment. The session based will work exactly as I intended to, where a user is able to access another computer in a remote desktop configuration within one singular session, whereas a virtual machine based desktop deployment will create virtual desktops for each separate virtual desktops for each session, and we actually don't want it to do that. So we're going to click on Next. Server selection will go on to the server we've already created, which is this one, our server. So we're going to click Next on that as well. So now, as you can see, it is prompting us to restart our computer in order to deploy the actual remote desktop configuration. So we're just going to click Restart the destination server automatically if required, and then deploy. This will take a little while. So I've just finished restarting my computer, and if I go into the server manager, you can see that the remote desktop services actually still have to be installed. So I'm going to get back to you once these are done. So now, as you can see, the remote desktop services are done installing, and it has a little link at the bottom that says connect to RD web access. And as you can see, it is the name of the server, the name of the domain, and then RD web. And we're going to use this later on our client machine when we want to access the remote desktop services. But for now, we're just going to click close. Here we can go down to the bottom and actually see the setup and the overview on our remote desktop services. Here, the grayed out ones have already been installed and set up, but the green ones are yet to, and that is RD Gateway and RD Licensing. These only need to be set up later on. You don't need them for now. However, after 120 days, the RD licensing will need to be set up, so for now, it should be fine. In the future, not so much. I think before I open my client machine, you can see that there are only 3 applications. I only have 3 programs available to the client in the remote desktop. And these are the ones that are going to show up. And now you're going to test on your client. Due to some errors, my recordings kept falling apart, so I'm just going to show you it in screenshots, but you should get the gist. Over here, I'm logged into my main user roaming profile on my client machine, and I'm opening the browser so that I can head straight to the link. I'm going to place the link that you saw before in my URL bar, and I'm going to press enter. And as you can see, it tells you this error. This isn't a problem because we're just going to click on the continue to link at the bottom anyway. Now it's going to prompt you to enter your domain credentials, so your username and your password, and I'm just going to enter that right quick. And here you can see the remote desktop resources that I told you were already set up are over here and they're available. And that's it to it. Thank you guys for watching.